to that location because there is no other spot. So with the location of this, it's going to be easily accessible.
From bathroom facilities to multiple areas for small, medium, and big dogs, Marie says that's critical.
They need to be fenced. It's nice if they're fenced because some dogs don't listen very well. This one doesn't listen very well sometimes.
And Nick from the city also told me there are even future expansion plans.
And then we have future plans to be able to actually have a trail that you can go around the fishing pond there so people can continue to walk.
That is great news for dog owners with lots more space for the little
bring
puppies.
My dog from Texas here. She would love that.
I'm sure.
Well, we'll keep you updated on this new project. And coming up now on Good Morning Northwest, a fire in Columbia Park amid concerns over rising temperatures. We have what fire officials are saying about the cause.
Deputies are investigating after a man was shot in Grandview, reportedly after a fight with a man who knew him.
If you plan on taking the boat out this weekend, you'll see an increase in patrols on the water. We tell you the reason why coming up.
And it's a beautiful start out there this morning, but a little bit later today, it will be hotter compared to the past few days. I'll tell you by how much coming up right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica DeWall.
And I'm Jill Sperling. Happy 4th of July.
It is finally here. We've got our patriotic colors on. We're excited for today because there's a lot going on locally, isn't there?
It's going to be a really fun day, and we'll be talking about some of the events coming up a little bit later in the show as well.
And the weather should be good. We'll check on with our expert, Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Josh.
Oh, I'm sorry. I interrupted.
Go for it.
Okay. Well, it is going to be good, but I'm going to be a little bit of a Debbie Downer because I'm going to start off with this graphic as a reminder of what's at stake for today, okay? As we do have one active fire that's still burning in Yakima County, 4 miles to the south of White Swan. This is the Slide Ranch fire. It's just a hair above 3,100 acres. Still technically not 100% contained, but we are getting there. We don't want to add anything more to this map, so please think about that as you're shooting off fireworks today, although I would highly recommend leaving that to the professionals. Okay, right now our temperature sensors in the Kittitas and Yakima valleys are having an absolute fit, but I think it's mostly in the 50s and 60s because it's the same thing with the lower Columbia Basin and also for the foothills of the Blue Mountains. A little bit later today, we're going to have highs that'll be up into the mid-90s for the Tri-Cities, so very balmy stuff. This will place us at about 5 degrees above average for this time of the year, and we trend much, much hotter in the next week. I'll tell you just how hot we get and how risky it's going to be when it comes to fire potentials, and that's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. And as you mentioned, fires continue to be a concern amid rising temperatures this week. Yesterday, fire crews already battling the heat were called to Columbia Park in Kennewick.
The fire was reported near the west end of Columbia Park just before 1 p.m. Crews used hand and power tools to clear debris from the thick vegetation. Crews were able to contain the fire within the hour. Officials say the fire seems suspicious because of where the fire started.
This fire appears to have started in an area where there's evidence of human activity, so we'll certainly have our investigator come down to the scene and try to determine a cause of the fire.
Deputy Chief Hefner is asking people to celebrate the 4th of July responsibly and to have common sense when it comes to setting off fireworks. And as we've mentioned, today is the 4th of July, and we do expect people will be setting off fireworks this evening. So it is important to make sure your pets are secure.
Absolutely. And the 4th of July is the #1 day that dogs go missing. So if your dog struggles, even with being inside, there are a number of calming treats or blankets or even vests for your pets to help them. Benton County Canine Shelter's Joshua Castañeda says if your dog does get away, make it easy to help others help them.
One easy thing that we've even seen online is just getting a piece of tape, taping it onto a collar and writing your phone number, maybe with the dog's name and your name. So if it is found, then somebody will know where it belongs.
And if your dog does escape, he says the first thing to do is go online and post on social media that your pet is missing. After that, call your local animal shelters and rescues.
In crime news now, the Yakima County Sheriff's Office is investigating the shooting of a man in Grandview.
The call for help came in just before 2:30 yesterday morning to the area south of South Euclid Road. Authorities say a female called 911 saying her father had been shot after a fight with a man known to the family.
When authorities got to the scene, they found a man who had been shot in the head. No one has been arrested at last check. If you have any information, call Crime Stoppers.
One person was hurt in a 3-vehicle crash in Kennewick yesterday afternoon.
This crash happened at the intersection of US 395 and West Hildebrand Boulevard. That's near Bob's Burgers and Brews just after 3:30. Authorities say one truck rear-ended another and then both trucks crashed into a mail carrier's vehicle. At this time, it's unknown which person was taken to the hospital, but 2 others were treated at the scene. And we'll continue to update you on our website, applevalleynewsnow.com.
If you plan on being out on the boat today or over the weekend, remember to have a sober skipper.
Several law enforcement agencies from around the region are joining together for Operation Dry Water. During this time, authorities will prioritize boating safety, especially because the leading known contributing factor in boater deaths is alcohol use.
Boaters will see an increase in patrols throughout the holiday and this weekend. Now, it is illegal to operate a boat with a BAC of 0.08 or higher. So put your life jacket on, celebrate responsibly, and have a sober skipper. Straight ahead on Good Morning Northwest, the 4th of July means fireworks in the sky. And when we come back, we show you how one local fireworks stand is utilizing technology to light up fireworks.
And yes, you can actually use your phone and keep all 10 fingers. We've got the story in just a few minutes.
Stan's gonna ride the Nebula Drop Tower.
Finally! I'm ready to ascend to the clouds, to go where no dino has gone before. Goodbye, Earth. Hi, Alice!
Whoa! He doesn't know it comes back down?
Apparently not. I'll let you know when I hit orbit. Drop Tower, I get it.
Triple Play has fun attractions for everyone, including go-karts, mini golf, and many more, all attached to a cozy hotel.
You thought it would bust through the ceiling?
You came through a portal from another dimension. Weird stuff happens.
Visit us at our new urban wine bar in historic downtown Kennewick. Choose from a variety of wines and food from our expanded menu. Enjoy time with friends old and new. After hours with riverfront views from our shaded patio, we are Murray Gaston Wine Bar.
From Apple Valley News Now, this is Medically Speaking.
Atomic Health pays me to do the in-home, I guess nursing or the things I do to help out, so we don't need a nurse. Meds, cooking, cleaning, getting them to doctor's appointments, picking up prescriptions, whatever else needs to be done. So at least once a month or whenever I need her, Sarah, or whatever nurse is available, comes to our house. If I have a worry that I'm not sure if he needs to go to the doctor, she comes and advises me and does an assessment and tells me if there's anything I need to do different, or I don't know that I could do this without him.
So we'll definitely evaluate their past employment. As a registered nurse myself, I'll look through their medical records and I'll look to see maybe what medical conditions they have, and we'll be very upfront with them, honest about whether they do have a claim that could warrant benefits or not.
Save with Bi-Mart's latest digital savings guide on Bi-Mart.com or pick up a copy in store. Save $2 on an 18-pound bag of Royal Oak briquettes. Member price just $7.99. Find Bi-Mart quad chairs for just $8.99. Save on Ball, regular, or wide-mouth quart jars, now just $14.99. Plus find great membership pricing on beer, including Busch, Budweiser, Kona, and more. Online or in-store, membership saves more at employee-owned Bi-Mart.
If you would like to improve your sleep for less, then right now is the perfect time to visit Walker's Furniture for their 4th of July savings event, where you can get no money down and no interest financing for up to 5 years this week at Walker's.
This newscast sponsored by Mariano Morales Law.
Welcome back. Check this out. One local fireworks stand is selling a new device that aims to keep people safe.
Austin Reed has details on this technology and also when you're allowed to set off fireworks and when you're not.
After you remove the plastic pull tab to connect the battery, you can go ahead and turn it on. You'll see the light is going to start blinking, letting you know that it's successfully powered on and ready to connect to your phone
It's called the Hotshot Q firing system.
You'll notice here that it's starting to search for the module, and it's found it. Perfect.
And then you plug these into this part, and then you plug it into the fuse. You step away, you grab your phone, and then you push the button when you're ready.
In Kennewick, where fireworks stands finally became legal last year, this stand on Edison and Clearwater is now selling the device, and people are buying them.
Like multiple at a time you can set off.
So then, would you say, too, this is much safer?
I think so, because you can be at a safe distance. You don't have to worry about running and it going off, right?
And how much are these? They're only about $30, and the device helps keep users safe by increasing the distance between them and the fireworks. Is this brand new this year?
No, we actually had it last year too.
Was it popular?
I'd say yeah. People would really look at it and be like, oh, what's this? What does it do? And then they would be like, oh, that's really cool. They were like, yeah, it is.
Under Washington state law, fireworks went on sale last Friday and will stop this Friday, July the 5th. Regarding when you can and cannot use fireworks, between the hours of 9 o'clock a.m. and 11 o'clock p.m., you're good. That will continue until the 3rd of July. On July 4th, it's between the hours of 9 o'clock a.m. and 12 o'clock midnight, and between the hours of 9 o'clock a.m. and 11 o'clock p.m. on July 5th. For this fireworks stand in Kennewick, they tell me that business has been booming.
It's been going really good, actually. We've had a lot of traffic come in, and people are surprised that, Kennewick is allowing these fireworks, which is really cool.
Portions of the proceeds raised at the fireworks stand in Kennewick will go towards the local church, Faith Central International. And I gotta say, I feel kind of old for not knowing about that technology.
I didn't know about it either, but that's smart. Then you don't have to be right there.
Yeah, I don't usually set off the fireworks.
I don't either.
It's usually someone else, but if I could now with that.
Yes. Well, we have been talking a lot about fireworks leading up to the 4th, but there are a lot of other ways to show your patriotism.
In Miami, a 700-foot tall digital display is lighting up one of the city's tallest buildings. It displays the American flag on the Paramount Miami World Center.
That looks so cool.
It does look really cool.
Yeah, I like that.
I want to see it now. Well, coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, we're seeing excessive heat here locally, and we're expected to hit triple-digit temperatures.
Chief Meteorologist Josh Culberth will tell us just how hot we'll be getting in your First Alert full forecast. We'll be right back.
It's the big 4th of July sale this week at Walker's.
With big discounts on all your favorite name brand furniture items, or pay for it over time with no money down and no interest financing for up to 5 years.
This week at Walker's.
Save now with Cascade Farm and Outdoors' latest mailer. Pick up a copy in-store or at any local Buy Mart. Georgia Boot Romeos are $15 off. All bagged soil and fertilizers are 25% off. Save $5 on Purina Pro Plan 30-pound and up dog food. Plus, we're honoring our active military and veterans with 15% off July 2nd through the 4th. Save more with our latest mailer at Cascade Farm and Outdoor. Northwest. Homegrown. Honest values.
Hot Tub, Hot Tub, Hot Tub. Major manufacturers and warehouses clearance of new 2024 inventory. Friday through Sunday. Hapo Center, Pasco. Over 100 hot tubs on display and everything must go. New 2024 inventory. Hot tubs starting at $29.95. All inventory 40 to 80% off. See the revolutionary swim spa in action and save up to 60%. Trade-ins welcome. Free delivery. We'll even haul away your old hot tub. Worry-free installation. 18-month interest-free financing. Millions of dollars of inventory must be sold. Hapo Center, Pasco. Free admission. Free parking. Call 833-SPA-SALE.
Our 4th of July mattress event is on at Sleepmore inside More Furniture. Save on premium mattress brands like Tempur-Pedic, Sealy, and Stearns & Foster. For a limited time, you'll get a free bedding bundle gift, including 2 Tempur-Pedic pillows, a sheet set, and a mattress protector, all with the latest cooling technology. And right now, you can also take advantage of our 72-month interest-free financing. Visit your local showroom or shop all July 4th specials online at morefurniture.com.
Chill or grill on a new deck from Par this season. Get a free Makita Bluetooth radio or portable pellet grill with a qualifying Par deck package purchase of wood, TimberTech, or Trex. Visit par.com for details. Par, go where the builders go.
What are you going to build?
Apple Valley News Now, recently honored by the Society of Professional Journalists with first place awards for general excellence, breaking news, health reporting, and video series. We all like awards, but our mission is to serve you with news that gets results. We are Apple Valley News Now, on your side.
Taylor Swift, never-before-seen interviews from all her eras.
How did this happen?
It's a special ET Vault Unlocked.
ET, you have the exclusive.
Next ET.
Tonight at 7 on Apple Valley News Now.
Good Morning Northwest streams all day at applevalleynewsnow.com and our mobile apps. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. And on America Day, I think it's very appropriate we take a look at America's pastime here. The Dust Devils, or this view coming courtesy of the Dust Devils in Pasco. Already a beautiful start out there this morning. Our temperature sensors are being very funky. Got to be honest with you, I think most of us are either in the upper 40s to low 60s. That's about the range that we're all going to fall in for this morning. And a little bit later today, it's going to be a hot one out there. We'll be about 5 degrees above average for this time of the year, so a little bit hotter compared to the past couple of days. So we'll be in the low 90s for the Kittitas and Yakima valleys. We'll also be in the low to mid 90s for the lower Columbia Basin, then a mixture of 80s and 90s for the foothills of the Blues. And then for tonight, clear skies, very comfortable temperatures. We'll show you that river of fire forecast coming up a little bit later in the show, but we'll be near 60 for the Kittitas and Yakima valleys, also near 60 for the lower Columbia Basin, and it's going to be the same thing for the foothills of the Blues. All right, the big story is how we trend much hotter into the next week. Triple digits starting on Friday in the Tri-Cities, and then after that we get hotter and hotter. Temperatures likely peaking in the Monday to Wednesday time frame. For now, we're going with Tuesday being the hottest day, as temperatures could rival 110 degrees in the Tri-Cities, which is about 20 degrees above average for this time of the year, which is why the National Weather Service in Pendleton has gone with this excessive heat warning in the magenta and then this heat advisory in the orange for both of these areas. The time frame is from 12 p.m. on Friday to 10 p.m. next Thursday. So this is going to be a week-long ordeal. And of course, the heat itself is dangerous enough, but then you add on top of that the fire situation that we're going to have, and that makes the situation that much more dire. So we do have a first alert high-impact fire day for tomorrow and Saturday for the entire viewing area. Looks like Saturday is going to be the more potent of those 2 days. So here's some of the data to back that up. Here are the fire fuel energy percentiles, historical percentiles, up into the 90th percentile for Kittitas and Yakima counties. We'll be into the 81st percentile for the lower Columbia Basin, and then into the 89th percentile for the Blue Mountains. These numbers are bad, but the numbers for next week are even worse, which is why we're going with a first alert extreme impact fire day for Monday and Tuesday in Kittitas and Yakima counties, also for the Blue Mountains. Take a look at some of these values. Fire fuel energy into the 98th percentile for Kittitas and Yakima counties, and into the 99th percentile for the Blue Mountains, so almost maxing out our scale. I mean, it can't be underscored enough. This is going to be such a dangerous setup, so please be on your P's and Q's. Here's a 7-day forecast for the Cascades. Even in the mountains, we'll be in the mid-80s for Sunday through Tuesday. And then for the Kittitas Valley, we'll be on the cusp of 100 degrees for Friday and Saturday, then likely breaching 100 by Sunday. For the Yakima Valley, highs likely peaking around 105 on Tuesday, and for the lower Columbia Basin, we'll trend closer to 110 for Tuesday. Very hot, very dangerous stuff. And then for the foothills of the Blues, we'll have overnight lows in the 70s for Tuesday and Wednesday, and that can be just as dangerous as some of these hot afternoon highs. And then for the Blue Mountains, a very dangerous fire setup that's setting up for next week, just given that most of the fuels are going to be completely dry.
Thank you, Josh. Well, Walla Walla County has set up temporary cooling centers for people as the heat wave hits this weekend.
First Congregational Church on Palouse Street in Walla Walla will be open Sunday, July 7th through Tuesday, July 9th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Heat is the #1 deadliest weather event, so make sure you use these cooling centers, stay hydrated, and avoid any strenuous activity.
And while we prepare for the excessive heat here, parts of Mexico and Texas are getting ready for Hurricane Beryl. The storm slammed into Jamaica yesterday.
Extensive damages have been reported amid fears of a rising death toll in the Caribbean. Andrea Fujiji has the latest.
This morning, hurricane warnings issued for the Cayman Islands and Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula as Beryl barrels northwest. Oil companies like BP and Shell are now evacuating some workers from rigs in the Gulf. Beryl brushed by Jamaica as a Category 4, winds up to 140 miles an hour. Tourists riding out the storm.
We went to the airport just to make sure. And every counter, just like they told us, they said, hey, every flight is full. You can't get off this island.
Jamaica's prime minister warned overnight the island has not seen the worst of Beryl's impact. Up to 9 feet of storm surge was expected, with flooding and mudslides. ABC's Faith Abube is in Montego Bay.
People who are in low-lying areas, flood-prone areas, some of them had to be evacuated. The winds came in strong and intensified throughout the day. You can still see some of the effect. The outer bands of Beryl still impacting us here in Montego Bay.
Beryl has claimed at least 7 lives in the Caribbean. Satellite images show the island of Carriacou in Grenada before the storm and after. Aid workers are racing to bring food to Union Island, where 90% of the homes were leveled. Beryl could impact Texas next week, possibly as a Category 1 hurricane. Meanwhile, the West Coast is facing one of the longest heat waves in 18 years. People from Arizona to the San Francisco Bay Area to Oregon could see record high temps. California's Death Valley could hit 130, which would set a record for the hottest temperature ever recorded on Earth. Hot and windy conditions are fueling this wildfire in Northern California, forcing 26,000 people to evacuate, prompting the governor to declare an emergency. Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
Up next on Good Morning Northwest, we've got more on fireworks safety, tips to make sure you don't get injured today.
And we've also got your entertainment news. That's all coming up. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Allen Brecky Law Offices will act fast and work hard to get you the compensation you deserve. Call 735-0546 to find out what your rights are under the law. Call now. They're waiting to help you.
Celebrate Independence Day the Tri-Cities way. The River of Fire Festival is back Thursday, July 4th. It's a blast with something for everyone. Free admission and free parking. Kids Zone, Food Truck Alley, plus live music on 2 stages. Park entrance closes at 9 p.m. and the legendary River of Fire fireworks show starts at 10. The River of Fire, presented by Giza Credit Union and these sponsors. The annual River of Fire 2024, Thursday, July 4th.
So what do you think about these?
We're going to take everything.
From design and products to removal and installation, Rebath is with you through every step of your remodel. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $1,000 off your complete bathroom remodel.
When it comes to your health, timing is everything. Health First Urgent Care is your reliable healthcare solution, locally owned and operated, providing care to our community. With locations in Pasco and Richland, we're open 7 days a week, from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. No need to wait in long lines or rush to the ER for minor concerns. At Health First Urgent Care, we've got you covered with on-site x-rays and short wait times. Your health is our priority. Walk-ins are welcome. You can get the care you need when you need it. Health First Urgent Care, because your well-being comes first.
If you would like to improve your sleep for less, then right now is the perfect time to visit Walker's Furniture for their 4th of July savings event, where you can get no money down and no interest financing for up to 5 years this week at Walker's.
No matter how he got here, how alone she feels, how they've struggled to support their best friend, what's important is this moment when they reached out and said, I can't do this alone. And we said, that's okay. We'll figure it out together. If you or a loved one needs support, our trained counselors can help you too. 988, anywhere, anytime.
Let's celebrate our democratic republic all year long, not just the first week of July. We have freedoms that are unmatched. Our system isn't perfect, but it's the best.
If you've been injured, get a free consultation from the people who live and work right here in our community.
Operation Best Friend on Good Morning Northwest, sponsored by Windermere Group 1.
Welcome back. In some entertainment news now, Taylor Swift has fans all around the world. And now a city in Germany is planning to change its name in honor of the superstar. Gelsenkirchen, Germany will be known as Swiftkirchen, just in time for the singer's 3-day Eras tour stop later this month.
Say that 3 times fast. Gelsenkirchen. No, I can't do it. Other Swiftie changes to the city include the Taylor Swift tram and an open-air market called Taylortown. The temporary name change was suggested by a local fan who submitted a petition to the mayor, and the city swiftly came on board.
I wonder if she's going to visit all of these places that are named after her.
Probably for her tour, but I don't know about the rest, you know.
She's so tram, busy. The Taylor tram.
I want to go to the Taylor Town. That sounds kind of fun.
Taylor Town.
Like if there's like a little Taylor stores.
I'm sure there is. Souvenirs, I'm sure.
Oh, a bunch, yeah. Well, now in some health news, fireworks on the 4th of July are a special part of the day for many people. And even if fireworks are illegally sold in your area, they can still be dangerous if not used safely.
Here's Christiane Cordero with more.
The U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission wants to raise awareness and share safety tips to prevent firework injuries and deaths during the holiday. In 2023, CPSC received reports of 8 deaths and an estimated 9,700 injuries involving fireworks. Of the 8 deaths, 5 were associated with firework misuse, 2 with a device malfunction, and 1 involves unknown circumstances. Teenagers ages 15 to 19 years old had the highest estimated rate of emergency department treated firework injuries, with children ages 5 to 9 years old having the second highest rate. There were an estimated 800 emergency department treated injuries associated with firecrackers and 700 with sparklers. About 42% of the emergency department treated fireworks related injuries were for burns. CPSC urges consumers to celebrate safely this holiday by following these safety tips. Never allow children to play with or ignite fireworks, including sparklers. Make sure fireworks are legal in your area and only purchase and set off fireworks that are labeled for consumer, not professional use. After fireworks complete their burning, to prevent a trash fire, douse the spent device with plenty of water from a bucket or hose before discarding the device. With this Medical Minute, I'm Christiane Cordero.
Coming up on Good Morning Northwest, the commander of the Yakima Training Center is changing. We look back at the legacy he is leaving behind and get a glimpse of who's replacing him.
And the pressure is on for President Biden, this after his poor performance in last week's debate, with some Democrats in Congress calling for him to step down. Details are ahead.
Why buy a mattress from Mattress Depot USA?
Low prices.
Every day, we beat any competitor's price.
Selection?
All sizes and brands like Sealy, Stearns & Foster, Tempur-Pedic.
Customer service.
Our sleep specialists average 10 years in the industry. Check out our reviews.
Comfort guarantee?
120 nights worth.
Same-day delivery.
Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Local?
Born here, live here.
Come see us today.
Low prices every day. Mattress Depot USA.
There's nothing more exhilarating this time of year than traveling the open road in an RV. At Broadmoor RV, our family has been so dedicated to helping you discover America the Beautiful. We make it a point to carry the top brands in the industry at prices you can afford. That's why Broadmoor RV is the #1 travel trailer dealer in Washington State. Family owned and operated for almost 30 years. Broadmoor RV Superstore, your destination store in Pasco.
Shop early and save this Thursday as we celebrate the 4th of July with special hours at your local More Furniture. Save on our latest styles for every room and celebrate summer. The looks you've been waiting for are in stock and on sale. At More Furniture, value meets style every day. And with additional sale pricing during the 4th of July sale, our prices are unbeatable. Special hours Thursday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Only at More Furniture for less.
Save with Bi-Mart's latest digital savings guide on Bi-Mart.com or pick up a copy in store. Save $2 on an 18-pound bag of Royal Oak briquettes. Member price just $7.99. Find Bi-Mart quad chairs for just $8.99. Save on Ball, regular, or wide-mouth quart jars, now just $14.99. Plus find great membership pricing on beer, including Busch, Budweiser, Kona, and more. Online or in-store, membership saves more at employee-owned Bi-Mart.
At Columbia Basin Buildings and Sheds, we've got you covered. We offer a variety of buildings and sheds that come with a 5-year limited warranty, free delivery, and setup. Whether you're ready to custom create your space or just need extra storage, we're here to help every step of the way. All in-stock buildings can be delivered within 7 to 10 days and custom builds in 3 to 4 weeks. So what are you waiting for? Find your perfect building or shed today with Columbia Basin Buildings and Sheds in West Richland.
Next Extra, Cobra Kai kicking off their final season. Only Murders headed to Hollywood, and Emily in Paris giving you
more fashion, more drama, more fun.
Our ultimate summer television preview. Next Extra.
Tonight at 7:30 on Apple Valley News Now.
It's the big 4th of July sale this week at Walker's.
With big discounts on all your favorite name brand furniture items. Or pay for it over time with no money down and no interest financing for up to 5 years.
This week at Walker's.
Stacy Lee, she's on your side. Apple Valley News Now First Alert Weather.
Right now on Good Morning Northwest, a new change underway for the Yakima Training Center as responsibility passes to a new commander. We look into the legacy the old commander is leaving behind.
Pressure is mounting for President Biden as he meets with governors and congressional leaders on whether he should continue his campaign.
And this morning, we're seeing a beautiful sunrise out there, plenty of blue skies. A little bit later today, it's going to be hot. I'll tell you how hot coming up right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest, on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica DeLal.
And I'm Jill Sperling. Happy 4th of July. I am excited about today's festivities.
We have to be excited. We've been talking about it all week. There's so many things going on, lots of events locally. We've talked a lot about fireworks safety. We're being patriotic today. And we've got some more patriotic stuff coming later. We've got some fun stuff. We'll tell you all about that later. Well, now we'll check in on your forecast with Chief Meteorologist Josh Culbreth. Josh, people are going to be seeing fireworks tonight, so what can they expect weather-wise?
Well, they can expect some very comfortable temperatures for tonight, but for today it is going to be a little toasty. But it's going to be a full circle moment as we're pretty comfortable right now. Maybe a little on the chillier side for some spots. And again, a lot of these temperature sensors are out for this morning. We'll investigate into that. But for the most part, 40s, 50s, and 60s, maybe some light jacket weather for some of us. But a little bit later today, forget about it, as it is definitely going to be t-shirt weather out there. Highs rivaling 95 degrees in the Tri-Cities. So that'll place us at about 5 degrees above average for this time of the year. Definitely warmer compared to the past couple of days. So if you're going to be outside for today, and we know that a lot of people will, pack the sunscreen and pack the water. Now for tonight, and I would highly recommend that if fireworks are going to be in your plans for today, make sure that it's professional shooting off the fireworks, as we do have River of Fire going off for tonight at Columbia Park, 10 p.m. 75 degrees, clear skies, very comfortable. But unfortunately, temperatures rebound in a big way into Friday, especially into next week too. We'll tell you how hot we get and how fire dangers are going to trend up. All that coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. And a new change underway for the Yakima Training Center as responsibility passes to a new commander.
Apple Valley News Now's Emily Goodell witnessed the ceremony celebrating that change yesterday and learned about the legacy the old commander is leaving behind.
Lieutenant Colonel Tim Horn took over as garrison commander of the Yakima Training Center in 2022, facing a unique set of challenges. Navigating environmental issues, with the Army taking responsibility over the cleanup of forever chemicals known as PFAS. Under Horn's command, progress on a new program to install water treatment systems in neighboring wells.
Tim was focused on helping the Army do the right thing by focusing on the health and safety of our soldiers and our surrounding residents.
Managing training grounds equal to half the size of Rhode Island.
YTC has a lot of land, 327,000 acres.
Acres of brush and hills that keep the training center fire department busy during fire season.
They're out there fighting fires either on post or off post with our mutual aid partners more often than not these days.
Horn saying goodbye after 2 years, transferring to Fort Leavenworth, Kansas to become an executive officer at the Combined Operations Center.
It has been an honor.
Passing command to Lieutenant Colonel Terry Gambrell, who previously served as a Special Operations Joint Task Force planner at U.S. Special Operations Command in Tampa, Florida.
This assignment is like no other that I've experienced in my career. I'll make it my goal to provide you with sound leadership and ensure you always have clear and concise guidance.
Going into his new leadership role with this advice.
I know you have a great team to rely on here as you take command. You will fall in love with the area and fall in love with the people.
Do what is right in your heart, and I will always have your back.
You can find more information about the new commander on our website, applevalleyNewsNow.com. Reporting from the Yakima Newsroom, Emily Goodell, Apple Valley News Now.
Turning to political news now and the race for the White House. President Biden met with Democratic governors and congressional leaders last night as some ask whether his campaign should continue.
The meeting comes after Biden's poor performance in last week's debate. Some Democrats in Congress have come forward calling into question if he's up for the campaign. But Biden's campaign has insisted it was just a bad night for the 81-year-old president, and he has no plans to drop out.
Did you think he's fit for office?
Yes, he's fit for office. The president has three and a half years of delivering for us, going through what we've all been through. None of us are denying. Thursday night was a bad performance. It was a bad hit, if you will, on that. But it doesn't impact what I believe. He's delivering.
President Biden's campaign says it is continuing to monitor the situation, but that the president is the Democratic nominee.
Most Americans don't think former President Donald Trump will concede the election if he loses in November. And that's according to a new CNN poll. 71% of those polled said Trump won't concede.
That's in stark contrast to the 78% who said Joe Biden would do so if he lost. Trump has given Americans good reason to doubt he would concede. Most recently at last week's debate, he refused to promise he would accept the results of this year's election.
Trump did concede the 2020 election, but he waited 2 months to do so, the day after January 6th.
Well, the Bidens are hosting an Independence Day celebration at the White House today. The vice president and second gentleman are set to attend. Other guests include active duty military service member, veterans, and their families. Afterwards, President Joe Biden and the First Lady will join their family to watch the fireworks over the National Mall after sunset. Up next on Good Morning Northwest, if you're looking for last-minute plans for the 4th of July, we have got where you can go in the Tri-Cities and Yakima.
And speaking of 4th of July, the annual Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest is happening this morning. We have a look at the contestants' weigh-in, also the reason why 16-time winner Joey Chestnut will not be there. Keep it here. We'll be right back.
The best way to end your day.
That is good TV.
Friends, tonight at 11:05.
Where are the most beautiful main streets in America? GMA's celebrating July 4th week, popping up live on main streets across the country, filled with the coolest small businesses and local charm. Will we be near you this week on
Good Morning America? Good Morning America.
Good morning, America. Let Quantum Legal protect you and be your champion on the legal battleground. Whether it's a fight for justice in the face of criminal accusations, personal injury claims, or workplace accidents, Quantum Legal is your unwavering ally. An aggressive offense is your greatest defense. Quantum Legal is the sword and shield you've been seeking. Your best defense, Quantum Legal.
If you would like to improve your sleep for less, then right now is the perfect time to visit Walker's Furniture for their 4th of July savings event, where you can get no money down and no interest financing for up to 5 years this week at Walker's.
It's 1,000 miles from here, but our open southern border is costing us billions and bringing deadly drugs into our communities. The rich are doing just fine, but working families are struggling. I'm Tiffany Smiley, and I approve this message because even though the political establishment told me to wait my turn, I'm running for Congress now to secure the border and lower the cost of living because Washington families can't afford to wait any longer.
These are real people seeking solutions to real problems.
I have plantar fasciitis.
Pain with my feet, my knees.
Feet, knees, hips, and back.
And then they were fit with Good Feet arch supports.
I definitely feel the heel-to-toe walk.
I'm not feeling any pain, especially in my heel. That's where I always feel it.
I don't feel the knee pain.
I didn't notice any pain in my back.
I feel like I could walk all day in these.
Oh, you're a blessing in disguise.
Try them for yourself with a free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
No matter how he got here, how alone she feels, how they've struggled to support their best friend, what's important is this moment. When they reached out and said, I can't do this alone. And we said, that's okay, we'll figure it out together. If you or a loved one needs support, our trained counselors can help you too. 988, anywhere, anytime.
Take off for a bird's eye view of a fun riverside park.
We bring our bikes down here, we walk down here, and then when Mommy's tired, we drive down here.
Fly the Northwest.
It's a huge asset. I really enjoyed.
Apple Valley News Now at 6 Tuesday.
Next live, it's our 4th of July family party with Caroline Ray, plus 5 for Fighting performs, and our 4th of July games.
Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We're talking 4th of July all day today, of course, and you can see that we're all festive over here. We've got our little headbands on. We've got glasses. I'm not going to wear them right now because then I can't see the prompter. Well, I'm not sure if the Founding Fathers intended it this way, but this holiday is often associated with eating hot dogs.
And that means it's almost time for the famous Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest. That is set to take place this morning at 7:45 our time. Yesterday, the contestants, 15 men and 14 women, weighed in and features competitors from around the world. Now, I don't know about you guys, but hot dogs don't sound that great this early in the morning.
So that must be later their time, but I feel like any time in the morning, a hot dog, no, it's not exactly what I want.
But we all like hot dogs up here, right?
Absolutely.
How do you guys like your hot
I found that
dogs?
it's like pretty divisive.
Oh,
it's like you
really?
either love them or you hate them.
You've got people who don't like hot dogs?
Yes.
Are they American?
Are they
I don't think so.
American?
Just kidding. Huh. Well, how do you guys like your hot dogs?
Not dipped in water the way they do that in the contest.
Oh my goodness.
No.
Oh. Well, I just like it plain, I think. With jalapenos, maybe. Maybe some cheese in it. Actually, that's not plain at all, but...
I'll just go with ketchup. If you put relish on your hot dog, I'm not sure. Are you a big relish person?
I like relish. I like relish.
I don't want to step on any toes.
Well, the winner of the contest will take home $20,000 and the very famous yellow mustard belt.
Ooh.
And if you don't know the name Joey Chestnut, he's the 16-time winner of the contest. But he'll not be in this year's contest because he was banned for representing a rival brand that sells plant-based hot dogs. Ooh, the trauma. Well, if you are looking for fun events to do locally, we've got some to tell you about. So first one is the River of Fire Festival in Columbia Park.
It is presented by Gisa Credit Union and is a collaborative effort between the city of Kennewick and Venue Works. There will be a kids zone with many activities, food trucks, fireworks, and live music. It all starts at 2 p.m. and ends with the fireworks show put on by Benton PUD. That starts at 10:05 and lasts about 18 minutes. Also, admission and parking is free.
And if you're closer to Pasco, you can head to the Grand Old 4th celebration. This kicks off at 7 this morning with breakfast at Memorial Park, not hot dogs. And if you have a light breakfast, you can partake in the Camp Patriot Fun Run. That's at Gisa Stadium, and that starts at 8 a.m.
The Grand Old 4th of July Parade starts at 10 a.m. and this year Pasco is proud to announce city native John Michael Morgan as the Grand Marshal for the parade. There are also several activities for kids and the fireworks show, which starts around 10 p.m. at the Pasco Sporting Complex, with gates opening at 6:30 p.m.
If you're in Yakima, State Fair Park is having a community celebration for the holiday. This goes through Saturday, and there will be a kids zone with the famous foam pit, also over 20 food vendors and a beer garden with games, also lots of live musical acts, and fireworks also start at 10 p.m. And we don't have hot dogs here, but we do have some cupcakes. We're not going to eat them right now unless you want one. No?
Not right now.
Dip it in with some water and you'll be fine.
Ooh.
Well, we're going to pop these poppers later, so stick around for that. And with all these events going on, Josh, how is that weather going to be looking?
It's going to be hot, but it's going to be even hotter as we head into next week.
And you're going to tell us about that in a few minutes?
I'm going to tell you all about it.
Keep it right here. We'll be right back.
It's the big 4th of July sale this week at Walker's.
With big discounts on all your favorite name brand furniture items. Or pay for it over time with no money down and no interest financing for up to 5 years.
This week at Walker's.
When it comes to legal matters, you need someone you can trust. At Morphine Law Firm, we are sincerely grateful for the last 5 years of trust and support you've given our firm. Your trust and support have been a major driving force behind our mission for justice. We offer free consultations, and we may not always tell you what you want to hear, but we try to steer you in the right direction. We appreciate your continued trust and confidence in Morphine Law Firm.
criminal illegals flooding our southern border and fentanyl flooding our streets. But Dan Newhouse has a plan to fight back. Stop illegal immigration, secure the border, and seize illegal fentanyl.
We need to keep pushing hard, working hard to stop the illegal flow of people and the illegal flow of drugs.
Call Congressman Newhouse and tell him to keep fighting to stop the illegal flow of people and drugs at the southern border.
When it comes to your health, timing is everything. Health First Urgent Care is your reliable healthcare solution, locally owned and operated, providing care to our community. With locations in Pasco and Richland, we're open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. No need to wait in long lines or rush to the ER for minor concerns. At Health First Urgent Care, we've got you covered with on-site x-rays and short wait times. Your health is our priority. Walk-ins are welcome. You can get the care you need when you need it. Health First Urgent Care, because your well-being comes first.
Save thousands on the new Revolutionary Swim Spa at a one-time sale. Friday through Sunday. Hapo Center, Pasco. Exercise with low impact. Swim the entire year and stay in shape. Teach your kids to swim. Unwind and save thousands. Avoid the expense and maintenance involved with a pool. Swim, exercise, and relax in your new aquatic exercise swim spa. Installation in 1 day only. New 2024 inventory. 18-month interest-free financing. Millions of dollars of inventory must be sold. Hapo Center, Pasco. Free admission. Free parking. Call 833-SPA-SALE.
The sale of the season is here. It's the Star-Spangled 4th of July sale at Furniture Row. That's 7 days where the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend on living, dining, bedroom, and mattresses. Plus, make your money go further with 6 years no interest financing. And check out doorbusters while they last. But don't wait. The Star-Spangled 4th of July sale at Furniture Row ends Thursday the 4th.
Hi, E.T.
Taylor Swift, never-before-seen interviews from all her eras.
How did this happen?
It's a special E.T. Vault Unlocked.
E.T., you have the exclusive.
Next E.T.
Tonight at 7 on Apple Valley News Now.
Good Morning Northwest streams all day at applevalleynewsnow.com and our mobile apps. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Right now you're taking a live, beautiful look at Yakima as the sun continues to rise and the temperatures this morning continue to be pretty comfortable. Look at that. All the temperature sensors are working again. 50s for the Kittitas and Yakima valleys. We are in the 50s and 60s for the lower Columbia Basin and also 50s and 60s for the foothills of the Blues. A little bit later today, it's going to be about 5 degrees above average for this time of the year, warmer compared to yesterday. So we'll be in the 90s for the Kittitas and Yakima valleys. We'll also be in the 90s for the lower Columbia Basin and a mixture of 80s and 90s for the foothills of the Blue Mountains. And then for tonight, we'll have clear skies. Overnight lows will be comfortable, near 60 for the Kittitas and Yakima valleys, also near 60 for the lower Columbia Basin, and it's going to be the same thing, actually low to mid 60s for the foothills of the Blue Mountains. Into tomorrow, that's going to be the first day where we in all likelihood breach 100 degrees in the Tri-Cities, and we're just getting started as it looks like the peak of this heat wave will likely be into Tuesday. We could rival 110 degrees in the Tri-Cities. That's about 20 degrees above average. Very dangerous stuff, which is why the National Weather Service in Pendleton has elected to go with this excessive heat warning in the magenta and then this heat advisory in the orange. And this runs for both of these areas. This runs from 12 p.m. tomorrow to 10 p.m. next Thursday. So this is going to be a week-long ordeal at least. Of course, the heat alone is dangerous, but then you factor in some of the fire conditions and it makes this situation that much more dire, as we do have a first alert high impact fire day for tomorrow and Saturday. It runs for the entirety of the viewing area. Looks like Saturday is going to be the more dangerous of those 2 days. And for Saturday, here's the fire fuel energy in terms of historical percentiles, up into the 90th percentile for the Kittitas and Yakima valleys, and then into the 81st percentile for the lower Columbia Basin, into the 89th percentile for the Blue Mountains. Very dangerous stuff there, but the situation gets even more dire in a Monday and Tuesday. That's when we're going with the first alert extreme impact fire day for Kittitas and Yakima counties, also for the Blue Mountains. The fuels will be very dry, into the 98th percentile in terms of fire fuel energy. Again, these are historical percentiles, so almost maxing out the scale, and we're also almost going to max out the scale for the Blue Mountains. To put this in more layman's terms, this is going to be a powder keg of an environment. Please be on your P's and Q's when it comes to fire safety. But again, I don't want us to let our guard down when it comes to the heat either, because that can also be pretty deadly. Here is 7-day forecast for the Cascades. Even in the mountains, we'll be in the mid-80s for Sunday through Tuesday. Then for the Kittitas Valley, we'll be on the cusp of 100 degrees for Friday and Saturday, and then likely breaching 100 by Sunday. Then for the Yakima Valley, highs likely peaking around 105 degrees for Tuesday, and then for the Lower Columbia Basin, will likely trend closer to 110 degrees for Tuesday. So again, very dangerous stuff. Then for the foothills of the Blues, overnight lows look to be in the 70s for Tuesday and Wednesday, and sometimes those warm overnight lows can be just as dangerous as the hot afternoon highs. And then for the Blue Mountains, a very dangerous fire setup into next week, especially as it looks like vegetation is almost going to be completely dried out.
Thank you, Josh. The annual PSD Summer Music Program is coming to an end today.
Riley Fitzgerald brings us to Pasco High School to show us a look at yesterday's orchestra concert.
Throughout the summer, Pasco students grades 5 to 8 have been practicing band in the morning and orchestra in the afternoon. The free program is led by district music teachers and more than 30 high school student volunteers. The weeks of practice have led to the final summer orchestra concert.
These students have learned more in 8 days than it normally would take us 3 to 4 months to learn this much music in the school setting. And in 8 days, they've put together a full concert's worth of music.
Yeah, I think it's really cool because, like, if there wasn't this, I would just be at home doing nothing, bored. And I really love playing music, so I think this is, like, a really cool thing.
Well, I know from experience that the students will bring this experience to their home schools next fall. They will brag about it. They will continue to play these pieces, and they will talk about it to their friends, and their friends will want to do it next summer.
It was his first time coming here, so I get to help him out too and play along with him.
Yeah, and for me, it's just that just playing all these new songs, like a lot of them.
Just personally because I love the Overture of 1812, and so it's a very exciting closer to our concert today, with tomorrow being the 4th of July, and so it's kind of a common celebration piece. But just to see and notice the parents just loving what their students are doing, and knowing that the time that they've put in for their students and the support they've given to this program in Pasco schools, and seeing and hearing how it's paid off for them.
The band has also been practicing and is ready to take on the Pasco 4th of July parade. That starts at 10 o'clock this morning. Reporting in Pasco, I'm Riley Fitzgerald with Good Morning Northwest.
Thank you, Riley, and don't go anywhere. We will be right back with the morning sprint and a final check on your forecast.
First, a look at what's ahead on Good Morning America.
In this morning's GMA First Look, do weight loss medications cause people to lose more muscle than regular weight loss regimens?
I've struggled with my weight basically all of my adult life, and I've lost and gained many times over. Pretty sure I've tried every diet there is.
46-year-old Tiffany from Boise, Idaho, says she started taking compounded semaglutide nearly 5 months ago. While not a new FDA concern, some doctors, like Tiffany's, have told their patients to be mindful of muscle mass loss.
She wants to make sure that lean body mass isn't significantly decreasing while body fat percentage stays elevated. So her goal is to make sure that it's body fat that's being lost and not just lean body mass.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have tips on how to maintain muscle mass when losing weight. With your GMA First Look, I'm Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
When your child has moderate to severe eczema, it's okay for them to show off. Show off their clearer skin and noticeably less itch with Dupixent. Because children 6 months and older with eczema have plenty of reasons to show off their skin. With Dupixent, the #1 prescribed biologic by dermatologists and allergists, they can stay ahead of their eczema. It helps block a key source of inflammation inside the body that can cause eczema to help heal your child's skin from within. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems, such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor. Show off to the world. Ask your child's eczema specialist about Dupixent.
Now, the morning sprint.
Welcome back. Time right now is 6:53.
We're going to get to your first alert forecast in a moment, but we begin with a look at this morning's top stories. Starting off, fires continue to be a big concern amid the rising temperatures. And yesterday, fire crews already battling the heat were called to Columbia Park in Kennewick.
The fire was reported near the west end of Columbia Park just before 1 p.m. Crews used hand and power tools to clear debris from the thick vegetation. Crews were able to contain the fire within the hour. Officials say the fire seems suspicious because of where the fire started. Deputy Chief Hefner says it started in an area with evidence of human activity.
We've been talking about fireworks safety all week long. One local fireworks stand is using new technology to reduce the risk of injury when it comes to fireworks. This stand is on Edison and Clearwater in Kennewick, and it sells a device called the TNT Hot Shot Firing System. It allows you to light them remotely from your phone. You connect the igniter to the firework fuse, connect the module, and press a button from a free app to light the fireworks. The stand sells the device for about $30. Some of the proceeds benefit the church, Faith Central International.
The Yakima County Sheriff's Office is investigating the shooting of a man in Grandview. The call for help came in just before 2:30 yesterday morning to the area of South Euclid Road. Authorities say a female calls 911 saying her father had been shot after a fight with the man known to the family. When authorities got to the scene, they found a man who had been shot in the head. No one has been arrested at last check. If you have information, call Crime Stoppers.
One person was hurt in a 3-vehicle crash in Kennewick yesterday afternoon. The crash happened at the intersection of US 395 and West Hildebrand Boulevard near Bob's Burgers and Brews just after 3:30. Authorities say one truck rear-ended another, and then both trucks crashed into a mail carrier's vehicle. At this time, it's unknown which person was taken to the hospital, but 2 others were treated at the scene. And we'll continue to keep you updated at our website, applevalleyNewsNow.com.
And now we'll check in with Josh for a final look at your first alert forecast this morning. Hey Josh, how's it looking?
Hey Jessica, it's looking pretty good out there. Comfortable temperatures, maybe a little on the chillier side for some of us, as we do have 50s for the Kittitas and Yakima Valleys, 50s and 60s for the lower Columbia Basin, and then also that mixture of 50s and 60s for the foothills of the Blue Mountains. A little bit later today, it's going to be hotter compared to the past couple of days. We'll actually be a few degrees above average by about 5 degrees, but for this time of the year, so we'll end up near 95 degrees within the Tri-Cities. And that is just a little appetizer in terms of the heat that we have coming on down the pipe, because for Friday, likely breaching 100 degrees in the Tri-Cities, and the more triple digits after that, pretty sustained. It looks for now like Tuesday is probably going to be the hottest day of this little stretch, which is why we do have, well, we have a week-long excessive heat warning and heat advisory for pretty much all of the viewing areas. So very dangerous stuff, and the danger only, I think, really goes up when you start thinking about what this could do for fire impacts, which is why we're going with the first alert high impact fire day for tomorrow and Saturday for the entirety of the viewing area. And then we're going with the ante gets upped even more, as we're going with a first alert extreme impact fire day for Monday and Tuesday for Kittitas County, Yakima County, and for the Blues.
And Josh has been talking about it all week long. Try not to light your own fireworks, or if you do, use safety measures. And since we're going to not do that, we're going to pop some poppers.
Safely, no fire risk here.
I've never done this one before, so I don't know how.
Or do we all go?
Oh! All right. No, mine's broken. Oh, no. Oh! Well, how do you do this?
We're going to have a lot of cleanup here on the desk, but we'll make sure we get that cleaned up.
Neil, don't hate me. I'm going to vacuum it up if you're watching this.
Thank you so much for watching Good Morning Northwest and joining us here on your 4th of July.
And justice for Joey Chestnut.
Yes. Have a great and happy 4th of July.